Okay, so next question from Twitter. Aiden S. Fisher asks, how'd you come up with the name for the band?
Again, we talked about this, the concept of being online. Like, we wanted something strange. This element of this band is not supposed to be necessarily a horror band, but more of a strange kind of feel this vibe we go by. And so we thought about the word psycho.
Yes. So we thought of the psycho, and then you were referencing Suicidal Tendencies.
Right. There's an 80s band called Suicidal Tendencies, thrash punk band. They've been around for years, and they used to use psycho, but in CYCO. There's also like this Infectious Grooves funk metal band that they turned into that did the same thing. So we kind of thought it was like a homage to it.
Yeah, totally. So it's kind of a weird story, but there's this website, which I will definitely link in the description box below. I think it's called bandnames.com or freebandnames.com. But anyway, you can have a blast on this site because you just put in one word and it comes up with like a million combanitions of a band name.
You could go all night long.
You can go all night long with this. So we were kind of wondering what the band should be called. So we put in things like psycho and other words, and then we kind of started writing down like our favorite things that would come out. And then when we looked at the page, 2 words really stuck out to us, and they never actually appeared together on the website, but one was psycho and one was sumo. So together, Sumo Cyco. And we thought, no one else will have that name. It's going to be easy to get at Twitter, at Sumo Cyco.
Yeah, like you can't find it anywhere else. Whatever Sumo Cyco is, it's us. Like,
totally. If you Google it, it'll come up with us. Because I think it's a pain in the neck when you hear something or you hear a name and you can't not find the band for the life of you.
Yeah, or it's like, the 700-800 bands that have the same names, and this is just an odd thing that we just knew that we wouldn't have a problem getting any rights to or domain to or anybody having the same band name. We just didn't think that was going to happen.
And the images of the sumo wrestler and psycho, to me, really kind of describe the sound to me.
Yeah.
Like a big, fat, crazy guy that's just, like, knocking people over. And
naked, practically, crashing into another, rolling with some... It's kind of weird.
There's the episode when I brought it past Tim Armstrong, and he's like, what's your new band name? And I said, Sumo Cyco, and he's like, if it looks cool on a leather jacket, then it's a cool band name. And he goes and he turns to Lars and he goes,
what's better on a jacket?
Yeah. So, and Lars said it would look cool, so then we're like, okay, approval from Rancid. I think that we're good to go with this name. Okay, so next question. Laura Foster on Facebook. Hey Laura, how did the band members meet? She asks. So I actually have a text response from Legs out in LA. He writes, I met MD through my old band, The Salads, met Sever by playing drums for a solo career, and met Thor through this project. So pretty much at one point or another, I've played with MD, Thor, and Legs.
Yeah, we've all known each other for a long time.
Yeah, now. And so pretty much...
I met Thor first, then I met you.
And then
I met Legs, and then you met Legs.
Yeah.
So it's all interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like Transformers. Kind of
Transformers.
Interchangeable?
More than meets the eye.
Interchangeable? Transformers aren't interchangeable. They just transform. They don't connect. Interchangeable is...
It's
just a bad definition. I apologize for that.
They morph.
It's interchangeable.
Yeah. So
I stick one into the other. Sorry.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't describe our band. Okay. Okay, I don't even know. Let's go to the next question.
Don't get me started.
Okay. Stephen Emmanuel asked via Facebook.
Stephen, you are a hardcore one.
Hardcore.
You write 20 times a day probably sometimes.
Definitely a devoted follower. So right on.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy sometimes, but I love it.
Creepy's cool in this band.
You go with it, dude.
Have you guys been experimenting with different styles of music, or do you want Sumo Cyco to be strictly a heavy metal band?
No, we don't want it to be a strictly heavy metal.
No, and I don't even think that right now it's
not really a heavy metal band. Anyways.
No. Like, I would say if any metal, we're probably new metal, but I think mostly we're a rock band. Would you
like
agree?
a heavy rock band. Like I want to be. We like pushing the boundaries so the music's real heavy.
Well, I think that
I don't think we ever.
There's
really,
elements, right? Like double bass drum and like the riffs are sometimes pretty metal.
Well, we have a lot of punk rock.
And then the stuff that I add over top, I think, completely brings like a different spin on it as well.
Yeah. Like and there's like you don't have the lyrics like before we talked about the. Flaming swords and
not like I killed your grandma lyrics.
Yeah, and saving civilization from
a
salvation
dragon or
and
something.
so on. Yeah, so we don't have like those kind of metal lyrics. So I wouldn't call us heavy metal, but we definitely have a metal's approach to some things. That's
for sure. But I think that we love mixing like dancehall beats. A lot of the stuff we have coming out in the future has a lot of urban feel to it.
Yeah, like we have a single, not like the Interceptor feels more punk rock, but like after that one, the next one after that we talked about is more like a dance metal, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
Fusion kind of thing.
Totally.
And we have some weird urban like we have a song called My Murder that I felt feels like really urban. And
then there's like the swing beat of like Braves.
Where Sever's actually doing more like rapping, kind of almost flowing kind of thing. So you're going to hear a lot of different, like it's not going to get so dynamic that you're going to hear country and lots of clean stuff. I'd like to think we're always going to try and keep it intense. But
aggressive.
But you'll hear some interesting stuff in it, that's for sure.
Totally.